Your soulmate is about to send you this tonight. I can't lose you twice, broken heart Latin cross. My beloved child, tonight is carrying a message your heart may never have expected to receive. Somewhere behind the silence, your soulmate has been holding back words that have become almost impossible to keep inside. They have opened the message, erased it, rewritten it, stared at it, and wondered whether sending it will change everything between you. But one sentence keeps returning to their mind: I can't lose you twice. And those words mean far more than they appear to mean. Don't skip, because what they are preparing to reveal is connected to something they never properly explained before. There was a moment when they felt you slipping away emotionally, and instead of saying what was truly in their heart, they became quiet. They thought there would always be another opportunity. Another conversation. Another perfect moment. But tonight, something feels different to them. They are beginning to understand that waiting has a cost, and the possibility of losing another chance with you has awakened feelings they can no longer pretend are small. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the message itself is only the beginning. What makes tonight so surprising is that your soulmate is not simply thinking about saying they miss you. They are preparing to admit why they never stopped carrying you in their thoughts. There is something they remember about you that nobody else knows matters to them. A tiny moment. A look. A conversation. Something you may have forgotten completely became one of the memories they return to whenever they wondered what could have happened between you. And now they are realizing something that has shaken their entire perspective. They may have spent all this time trying to move forward while their heart was still looking backward toward you. Don't skip. They are not writing tonight because everything suddenly became easy. They are writing because keeping everything hidden has become harder than finally telling you the truth. That sentence, I can't lose you twice, is their way of admitting that, in their heart, they already experienced losing you once. Maybe it happened through distance, silence, misunderstanding, timing, or words that were never spoken. But they remember exactly how that absence felt. And this time, they do not want silence to make the decision for them, and here is where everything begins to shift. The message they are preparing is not supposed to end with that one emotional confession. There is another truth behind it, something they have rehearsed privately but never had the courage to place into words for you. They want you to understand that their silence was never proof that you meant nothing. In fact, the opposite may have been true. You mattered enough to make them question everything they thought they understood about connection, timing, and what they truly wanted. Something huge is waiting for you, because tonight they are closer than ever to saying what they once believed they would keep hidden forever. They are thinking about the possibility that you may have already changed, that your heart may no longer be waiting, and that they may have arrived at this realization later than they wanted. That is exactly why the message feels so important to them now. Stay till the end, because before this story unfolds completely, you need to know what they mean by losing you twice, and the second meaning is far more unexpected than the first. There is one detail your soulmate has never told you, and tonight it is becoming impossible for them to ignore. The first time they felt they lost you was not necessarily the moment you stopped talking, became distant, or went separate ways. In their heart, it happened earlier, during one quiet moment when they realized you were beginning to protect your feelings from them. They noticed something had changed. Your energy felt different. Your attention was no longer something they could simply assume would always be there. And that realization stayed with them. Don't skip, because this is where the meaning behind "I can't lose you twice" becomes much deeper. They have been replaying old conversations and remembering moments when they could have been clearer, warmer, and more honest. They thought there would always be more time to explain. But now they are beginning to understand that some connections cannot remain unanswered forever. Something huge is waiting for you, because the message they are preparing tonight contains something they once promised themselves they would never admit. What they want to tell you is simple, but emotionally enormous. Losing your closeness once changed the way they understood your place in their life. They tried to convince themselves that the feeling would eventually disappear. Days passed. Their routine continued. Life kept moving. Yet certain moments kept bringing their thoughts back to you, a familiar phrase, a quiet evening, an unexpected memory, or simply wondering what you were doing at that exact moment. Stay till the end, because there is a surprising reason they waited this long. They were not only wondering whether you still cared, they were wondering whether they deserved another opportunity to speak honestly. And tonight, that hesitation is beginning to break. They are realizing that sending an imperfect truth may be better than protecting a perfect silence. The words are almost ready. Their message may begin calmly, but what follows could reveal feelings they have kept hidden for much longer than you realize. But the biggest revelation is still underneath everything they are preparing to say. When they write, "I can't lose you twice," the second loss they fear is not simply losing contact with you again. It is losing the possibility of ever discovering what the two of you could become if both hearts finally spoke without hiding. That possibility has been following them quietly, and tonight they are closer than ever to confronting it. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one particular sentence they keep considering adding after those 6 words, a sentence that could completely change how you understand their silence. They have typed it. Deleted it. Typed it again. And every time they read it, they realize that once you see those words, they cannot return to pretending everything between you was ordinary. Stay till the end, because what they are preparing to admit next is not about the past anymore. It is about what they want to happen after you read their message. Tonight, the silence is beginning to lose its power over your soulmate, because the sentence they keep deleting is finally becoming stronger than their hesitation. I never stopped wondering what would happen if I told you everything. That is the line sitting beneath, "I can't lose you twice," and it changes the entire meaning of the message. Don't skip, because they are not simply remembering you tonight, they are questioning every reason they ever gave themselves for staying quiet. They remember the moment they almost reached out before. They remember writing words they never sent. They remember convincing themselves that tomorrow would be easier, that another opportunity would appear, that somehow you would understand what they could not say. But something has shifted. They are beginning to realize that you may not remain emotionally available forever, and suddenly tomorrow feels too uncertain. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because your soulmate has reached a conclusion they once avoided. If they remain silent again, they may spend a very long time wondering whether one honest message could have changed everything. And there is another layer they have been hiding even from themselves. They have imagined your response more times than they would ever admit. They have pictured you reading their name on your screen. They have wondered whether you would smile, become surprised, or simply stare at the message because you never expected them to finally say it. But underneath all those possibilities is one question that keeps returning: what if they still feel something too? Don't skip, because this question is exactly why tonight feels different. Your soulmate is no longer trying to create the perfect message. They are trying to create an honest one. They want to tell you that distance never erased what mattered. They want to explain that some of their silence came from uncertainty, not indifference. And most importantly, they want you to know that the connection they tried to place in the past kept appearing in their present. A memory would return unexpectedly. A thought of you would arrive without invitation. And every time it happened, one truth became harder to deny: what they left unfinished with you still feels unfinished inside them. Something huge is waiting for you, because there is one part of their message they have never been brave enough to say directly before. The revelation is this: they do not only want another conversation, they want to know whether another chapter is possible. That is why "I Can't Lose You Twice" carries so much weight. The first loss taught them what your absence felt like. The second would mean knowing they had another chance to speak and still allowed fear and hesitation to take it away. Stay till the end, because now they are preparing to cross the line between remembering you and actually choosing to be honest with you. They are thinking about telling you what they noticed after the distance, what they finally understood about their feelings, and why nobody else could completely replace the emotional space your connection created. Don't skip. The next truth changes everything, because there is a reason they suddenly feel tonight may be the moment to finally send those words, and it is connected to something they recently realized about you. Something huge is waiting for you. If that realization is what finally pushes them to press send, the message you thought was only about the past could suddenly become a question about your future. Something changed inside your soulmate when they realized you might no longer be standing in the same emotional place where they left you. That realization arrived quietly, but it completely changed the message they are preparing tonight. They began wondering whether you had finally learned to live without waiting for clarity from them. Whether the silence that once confused you had eventually taught you to protect your peace. And suddenly, the thought of reaching you, someday, no longer felt comforting. Don't skip, because this is the moment their hesitation turns into urgency. They are beginning to understand that another opportunity with you is not something they can simply assume will always exist. That is why those words keep returning: "I can't lose you twice." The first time, they believed circumstances could explain everything. This time, they know silence would be their own choice. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. There is one truth they are finally preparing to place beside those words, and once they say it, you may understand why they kept returning to you in their thoughts even when nothing was happening on the surface. Here is what they have finally admitted to themselves: they were waiting for certainty before giving you honesty, but certainty never arrived. Instead, your absence gave them something stronger: perspective. They began recognizing the difference between someone simply being part of their life and someone leaving an emotional imprint that remains even after distance. And somehow, memories of you kept surviving every attempt to treat them as ordinary. Don't skip. Tonight they are no longer asking themselves whether the connection mattered. They are asking whether they still have enough time to tell you how much it mattered. They remember things you probably never realized they noticed: the way you understood what they meant without needing a long explanation, the small details you remembered, and the moments when your presence made everything feel unexpectedly lighter. Those memories have become evidence to them that what happened between you was never as forgettable as they once pretended. Something huge is waiting for you, because the sentence they are considering sending next is even more revealing. I thought losing you once would teach me how to let go, but it only taught me what I should have valued sooner. And now the message is approaching the part they fear and want most, the question that could open a completely different future. They do not know exactly how you will answer. They cannot control whether your feelings remain the same. But for the first time, they are realizing they would rather know the truth than continue living inside unanswered possibilities. Stay till the end, because their next words are not meant to pressure you or pull you backward. They are meant to finally give you the honesty that was missing before. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They want to ask whether there is still room for one genuine conversation, one moment where neither of you has to guess what the other person means. And behind that question is an even bigger confession they have not yet typed completely. They are not only afraid of losing you twice. They are afraid of discovering years from now that you were the person they should have spoken honestly to when they still had the chance. Tonight, that realization is pushing their hand closer to send, and what they want to reveal next could explain exactly what kind of future they have secretly imagined with you. Now comes the confession your soulmate has been trying hardest to keep out of that message, because once these words appear on your screen, there will be no easy way to pretend their feelings were ever ordinary. They have imagined a future where the distance between you finally disappears, not through some perfect miracle, but through one honest conversation that changes the direction of everything. Don't skip, because tonight they are considering telling you something they never expected to admit. I didn't understand what you meant to me until I imagined my future without you in it. That realization has been sitting heavily in their thoughts. Suddenly, old memories make sense differently. The moments they once overlooked now seem important. The conversations they assumed could always happen again now feel precious. And the silence they once considered temporary has lasted long enough to teach them something unforgettable. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. I can't lose you twice is no longer simply an emotional sentence. It has become their decision to stop letting unanswered feelings speak for them. Tonight they want you to finally know that there was more behind their silence than you were ever allowed to see. But here is the surprising part. They are not preparing this message because they expect you to immediately give them the answer they want. Something inside them has matured. They understand that you may have questions. You may need time. You may even see everything differently now. Yet they would rather give you the truth than leave you carrying another mystery. Don't skip. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that real honesty does not demand an outcome, it simply stops hiding. And that is exactly what they are trying to do tonight. They want to explain why certain memories of you stayed unusually clear, why they compared later connections to something they experienced with you, and why your absence sometimes made them recognize your importance more clearly than your presence ever did. Something huge is waiting for you, because underneath all of this is one once-in-a-lifetime realization. They may have spent so much time searching for certainty while the person who made them feel something unforgettable had already crossed their path. Now they are wondering whether recognizing that truth came just in time, or one moment too late. And then comes the part of the message that could change everything. They want to ask you for a beginning, not a repetition. They do not want to recreate every old moment or pretend nothing happened. They want to know whether two people who have changed can meet each other again with more honesty than before. Stay till the end, because this is where "I can't lose you twice" finally transforms from regret into intention. They are thinking about saying, if there is even a small door still open between us, I want to walk through it honestly this time. Don't skip, because there is still one truth they have not revealed, the truth about what finally pushed them toward this message tonight instead of next week, next month, or another year from now. Something huge is waiting for you. A realization arrived recently that made delaying this conversation feel impossible, and once you understand what they suddenly recognized, you will understand why tonight feels like their turning point. They are closer to pressing send than they have ever been, but before they do, there is one final confession they want you to know, and it may be the most powerful one of all. The final truth has been sitting behind every word your soulmate has prepared tonight, and now they can no longer hide it from themselves. They suddenly realize there may never be a perfect moment to tell you what their heart already knows. They kept waiting for the right circumstances, the right confidence, the right opening, but while they waited, time kept moving. And then one quiet thought changed everything. What if I wait so long that they stop wondering about me completely? Don't skip, because that question is what brought them closer than ever to pressing send. They are beginning to understand that you may have grown stronger during the silence. You may have stopped searching for explanations. You may have discovered that your peace matters more than unanswered questions. And strangely, realizing that has not made them want to remain silent, it has made them want to finally respect you with honesty. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The message beginning with "I can't lose you twice" is not meant to pull you backward. It is meant to tell you what they should have said when there was still less distance between you. You mattered, the connection mattered, and pretending otherwise never made the feeling disappear. Then comes the sentence they have been afraid to write because it reveals exactly how deeply this realization has changed them. If you have moved forward, I will understand, but I could not let another day pass without finally telling you the truth. Don't skip. Those words carry the biggest transformation in this entire story. Your soulmate is no longer trying to control what happens after the message. They are finally willing to be honest without knowing the ending. They want you to understand why they disappeared into silence, why they hesitated, why they kept remembering you, and why tonight became the moment when holding everything inside stopped making sense. Something huge is waiting for you, because they have also realized something unexpected about losing you twice. The second loss would not simply be you walking away again. It would be losing the opportunity to become the person who finally had enough courage to communicate clearly. They do not want another chapter built from assumptions. They want clarity. They want one genuine conversation where the truth does not have to hide behind distance anymore. And if there is still something unfinished between you, they want to discover it honestly rather than spend another season wondering. And now imagine the final seconds before that message leaves their hands. Your name is there. The words are there. Everything they avoided saying is finally sitting in front of them. They read the opening once more, "I can't lose you twice." Then they read the confession beneath it, and suddenly they understand that pressing send is not about guaranteeing your response, it is about ending the silence that has controlled this connection for too long. Stay till the end, because this is the revelation everything has been building toward. What they truly fear losing is not possession of you, but the possibility of knowing you again with honesty, maturity, and no hidden feelings between you. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. If those words arrive tonight, remember that the most important part may not be the dramatic first sentence. It may be what follows, an admission that they remember, they understand more now, and they finally want to speak without hiding. And somewhere between the first word and the final line is the truth they waited far too long to face, that sometimes a person does not recognize the value of a connection when everything feels available. Sometimes they recognize it when silence shows them exactly what could disappear. Tonight, your soulmate is standing at that realization, looking at one message, one name, and one choice they no longer want to postpone, but just when it seems everything has already been revealed, one last thought changes the entire meaning of tonight's message. Your soulmate is looking at those words, "I can't lose you twice," and realizing they are not asking to return to the past. They are asking whether something completely new could begin from everything the past taught them. Don't skip, because this is the part they never imagined having the courage to express. They want to tell you that the distance changed them. It forced them to recognize what they avoided, what they misunderstood, and what they should have valued while you were closer. And now one question keeps repeating in their mind: what if the connection was not meant to be forgotten, but understood differently? Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They are no longer thinking only about sending a message. They are imagining the conversation after it, the moment when there are no hidden meanings, no guessing, and no pretending that nothing important ever existed between you. They know they cannot decide your feelings for you, but they can finally stop hiding their own. And this is where their biggest realization arrives. They once believed another chance meant recreating everything exactly as it was, but now they understand that would never be enough. If another chapter ever opens, they want it built differently, with patience, clarity, consistency, and words that are actually spoken when they matter. Don't skip, because this realization explains why tonight feels so powerful to them. They are not simply missing a memory. They are questioning whether they allowed something meaningful to become unfinished because neither person had the complete truth. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate keeps returning to one sentence they may place near the end of the message: "I don't know where this conversation will lead, but I know I don't want silence choosing our ending." Those words reveal everything. They are ready to stop waiting for certainty before becoming honest. They are ready to let you see the part of them that wondered, remembered, and quietly hoped there might someday be a moment like this. Now the screen is still glowing in front of them, and the message is almost complete. They read your name again. They read every sentence again. Their finger pauses because they understand that once those words are sent, the silence between you will never mean exactly what it meant before. Stay till the end, because the final revelation is not simply that they still think about you. It is that they finally understand why losing you once stayed with them for so long. There were too many things left unsaid. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Tonight they want to change that. Whether the next chapter becomes a conversation, an answer, a new understanding, or simply long-awaited clarity, they no longer want the truth trapped behind hesitation. And when they finally look at that first sentence one more time, "I can't lose you twice," they understand what they are truly saying: "I already know what silence cost me once. I will not let silence make this choice for me again." This time, they want their truth to reach you before another opportunity quietly passes away.